So listen, I know you don't need to hear me say it, but I'm still going to anyways. Premium credit cards are getting out of control. It's astounding to think that Chase and Amex can sit back and say that customers like you and I will just be okay with annual fees ranging from $800 to $1,000. It's no longer about a customer experience, but it's about crunching the numbers and looking at the analytics to see how much profitability they can squeeze from every single one of us. However, when one door closes, another door opens. And that's why in this video, I'm going to share with you the new era in credit cards that's now arrived for the masses. I'll tell you where we came from and how we got here and what this new era looks like. And of course, which credit cards in this new era that I see are the best possible options to get. Okay, let's start by taking a step back in time. No, I'm not going to bore you with a history lesson. Just roll the clock a few years back to show you where we came from so you could see exactly how we got here today. There was a time not too long ago when really nobody was traveling. Nobody was signing up for new credit cards, and nobody was needing these premium luxury perks. That led to credit card companies scrambling, as some of their most profitable premium products were dying on the vine. So, what did they do? Well, they hit the pause button and started to maintain more reasonable annual fees. As they did that, they added perks and benefits that would provide more value and entice more people to take the leap and try one of their top tier flagship products. And while all of this was happening, they added outsized sign-up bonuses to entice people to make the leap. For instance, in 2021, the Amex Platinum cost only $550, and it still came with many of the same credits and benefits that you see on the card today. That's kind of hard to wrap your mind around when a rumored price tag on the refresh ranges between $800 and $900. The Chase Sapphire Reserve 2 was only $550, and it even survived a complete refresh and maintained that same level of price tag. At the same time, the Capital One Venture X burst onto the scene in 2021 and came with the robust suite of packages that it offers today and really made waves as another valuable premium travel credit card. At that time, it was incredible. You had a ton of different choice, no matter what your style in credit cards was, and the bottom line, issuers threw everything they had at you and I to get our loyalty and to get our business. Over time, as people started to return to travel, there was still a period where these cards and benefits mostly remained intact. However, that's now begun to fade. So let's talk about what things look like now. The travel industry is stronger than ever. Credit card companies are making more money than ever, and at the same time, consumers like you and I are in more debt than ever. And finally, to find a premium credit card that delivers good value, well, that too is harder than ever before. Because of a lot of these factors, banks are taking a premium product and almost moving it into a super premium product that we now see today. They're turning the dial up just a notch further and stretching the value that you and I can probably get just a little bit further away than what most people feel is reasonable and necessary. Let's take a look at some of these recently adjusted annual fees. As you can see, there's a pretty consistent theme, with increases ranging between 20% on the low end all the way up to 40 and 45% on the high end. These are not just slight nudges to keep up with inflation. These are sizable leaps in annual fees that make a real difference at the end of the day. Even a card like the Venture X, which is not on this list and has maintained its annual fee, is still rolling back benefits within the offerings at the same price point. And that brings me towards the future. The new era in credit cards. And as I said, when one door closes, another door opens. And here's what I'm seeing today as the best cards out there to get. Because our highest annual fee cards have really escaped what makes sense for a lot of people, there's opened up a second tier beneath these premium products that I call the mid-tier credit cards. And this is a sweet spot that can still be taken advantage of. Let me show you 3 comparisons that really puts this into perspective. First, let's look at the Chase Sapphire Preferred against the Chase Sapphire Reserve. The Chase Sapphire Preferred comes in with an annual fee of $95. On the Reserve side, you're paying $700 more to hold that card. Now, the sign-up bonuses are a difference. On the Sapphire Preferred, you're looking at a standard 75,000 points worth maybe a little over $1,100 in travel value. And on the Sapphire Reserve side, you're looking at 100,000 points and $500 in a Chase travel credit. And that certainly can be worth over $2,000 when redeemed for travel. However, even though there is a difference in sign-up bonus, I wouldn't say there's a significant difference in sign-up bonus. Let's take a look at the earnings. The Sapphire Reserve does earn better in travel purchases, getting 8x through any purchase on Chase Travel and 4x booked direct through flights and hotels. However, the Preferred isn't bad, earning 5x through Chase Travel and still a flat 2x on all other travel purchases. In fact, you could argue the Preferred does better with the rest of its earning categories, adding 3x in online groceries and 3x in streaming, whereas the Reserve doesn't add anything additional that you can earn in that the Preferred does not have. Looking at points boost, some people will value the slight difference the Reserve offers, but still a lot of people, when they're going for a Chase card, are using the Sapphire card to transfer their points outside of Chase to get better value with transfer partners. So a points boost benefit on the Reserve doesn't really move the needle there. Finally, when you look at benefits, this is where the differences start to come clear. With the Sapphire Preferred, you really only have a $50 hotel credit, making it a $45 effective annual fee card. On the Reserve, you've got a ton of credits and benefits. Chase likes to claim thousands of dollars in their most rewarding credit card ever. However, once you get past year one, you're still left to seek and hunt down the use of these credits and benefits. It makes it a lot more complicated, and I'd like to pose the question if it's worth paying a 7x annual fee for all of the effort that it takes just to bring your effective annual fee back down to zero. Now, I'll admit that outside the lounge access benefit, which does take place on the Reserve and is not offered on the Preferred, that may shift things one way or another and just make the huge difference in annual fee really a moot point. However, if lounge access just doesn't move the needle, I think that at the end of the day, a lot more people are going to take 75 to 80% of the benefits that the Preferred has for 1/7 of the annual fee that the Reserve carries. Let's look at another two, the City Strata Premier against the newly announced City Strata Elite. The City Strata Premier carries a $95 annual fee. The Elite comes in at more than 5 times that, with a $595 annual fee. The sign-up bonuses don't make that much of a difference. Interestingly enough, the Strata Premier comes in with 60,000 points, whereas the Strata Elite only comes in with 20,000 more points at 80K thank you points offered. When you look towards things like earning rates, it's scary similar how close the Strata Premier gets to the top tier City card. You'll earn a little bit more with the Strata Elite when booking through City Travel, getting 12x back on hotels and rentals and 6x back with City Travel on airlines. The Strata Elite gets you 10x through City Travel and 3x on hotel and airline purchases. However, after that, similar to the Preferred, the City Strata Premier actually offers you a little bit more diverse earnings categories, allowing you more opportunities to accumulate thank you points. You'd think that there's got to be some value in the Strata Elite over the Premier, but you can't really find that in the credits and benefits either. The City Strata Premier offers a simple $100 hotel credit available to you when booking a stay of over $500. The City Strata Elite offers a number of different credits, and while the jury is out, most people believe it's possible to get your effective annual fee to $0, but not a guarantee. So again, you start to ask the same question. Is paying 5x plus in an annual fee to upgrade your Premier card to the City Strata Elite really worth it for about a $200 difference in sign-up bonus, plus a list of credits that aren't overwhelming compared to the Premier card? You still have access to the same transfer partners, and again, those earnings categories, which are going to make a difference in the long run, are actually more useful in the Strata Premier, the lower annual fee card. Finally, let's go outside the general travel credit cards and look at one last comparison. We'll take a quick peek into the newly refreshed Southwest Airline lineup of credit cards, and this is a really simple one. All I'll ask you to do is look at the sign-up bonus differentiation. At the $99 Southwest Plus card, you get 100,000 points, which is the exact same as the sign-up bonus on the Southwest Priority card, their top tier $229 card. Now you'd think the Priority card must be offering a whole lot more inside the packaging of it once you get past that sign-up bonus. However, that's not the case. These cards are scary similar in what they bring to you, despite the over $100 gap in annual fee that you have to pay every year to hold them. They have the same option to select your seat. You get your first check bag free on both. They both offer you very terrible earnings rates and boosted categories. They both offer 10K annual boosts towards Companion Pass and early Group 5 boarding. For me, this is a clear choice. Snag the lowest annual fee card with the same sign-up bonus and grab the value where it's available. Now I'm going to stop the comparisons here and tell you which cards I like best out of all of the mid-tier cards you could apply for today. However, I hope by this point you get the idea. It's not that the highest annual fee cards have worse benefits. They don't. They still offer more in every single card. However, the difference is often not worth an annual fee that has a multiplier of 5 or 6x their mid-tier counterpart. And a lot of times, for a lot of people, it's not worth keeping track of the laundry list of credits and benefits to get your annual fee back down to zero at the end of the day. So let's talk where we're headed. Is there still value out there to be found? What excites me is that answer is a resounding yes. However, it's no longer in the flashiest cards, as I just proved to you. These are the best mid-tier credit cards where the most value remains. Number one on my list is still the Sapphire Preferred. A great sign-up bonus, you still get access to Chase's travel partners while earning valuable Ultimate Rewards points, and all of this is packaged together and effectively a $45 annual fee. Number two on my list is the Capital One Venture X. While technically a premium card, it comes at an easily justifiable $395 and has really struck this balance between offering premium benefits while not being absolutely destroyed by its issuer with all of the recent changes. Number three, sneaking in here, is now the Citi Strata Premier. This card looks better than ever now that the Citi Strata Elite has been rolled out. With only a $95 annual fee and really great earnings categories, you can take the Strata Premier and pair it with another Citi card or two Citi cards and have an incredible earnings setup that gets you transferable currency. Finally, I'll throw two hotel cards in here. The Marriott Bonvoy Boundless, which still has the best sign-up bonus offered on a Marriott credit card, with the 5 free nights that come around at least once a year. Last but not least, you have the IHG One Rewards Premier credit card. You get an anniversary free night, TSA pre-check, the ability to book 3 nights on award stays and redeem the 4th night free, and finally, IHG Platinum Elite status. All of this comes together to you at a $99 annual fee. With the exception of the Venture X, none of these cards exceeds $100, yet all of them come with a fantastic user experience. Now, the bottom line here is that we live in a free market. When banks make adjustments and issuers change how their lineup of credit cards looks, you and I have the free choice to say, hey, this doesn't fit our lifestyle anymore, and let our decisions speak as our voice for the products we actually want to see. If you don't like how premium credit cards are trending, don't get them. I'm not jumping on any of these new premium cards as they don't make sense for my current lifestyle and the way I want to travel in the next year or so. Now, I hope this made you think about the lineup of credit cards out there a little bit differently and maybe not feel so down about where everything's trending, because again, while one door has closed on the premium cards, another door has opened, and you may now be able to get 2, 3, or even 4 mid-tier credit cards, get even more value when you put all those together, and not have to worry about sinking your entire budget into one premium card that's really going to crush your entire wallet just trying to keep up. Let me know in the comments, how are you handling this new era in credit cards? Are you canceling some of your highest annual fee cards and moving into the mid-tier cards that I spoke about? As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.